Baseball team had a great showing down in Arizona and are getting ready for Mon-Dak Conference play. The weather is warming up and the sun is shining. I'm your host, Seth Holzer, and this is Sports FYX. Over the spring break, the baseball team played 9 games down in Arizona, going 7-2. I got some insight on their experience down in the Grand Canyon State.
I think just a lot of it is just you're anxious to get down there. It carries on the off season, obviously, in the winter, being here in the gym. We were just anxious to get out on the field and see what this group could do. It's obviously a good experience. We go down there, not really know what to expect. We played mostly different teams than we did last year. So for us, I think it was a good experience to go down there and play in warm weather, obviously, and get out of this gym. And for the sophomores, it's probably our last time down there together. So it's good bonding for us sophomores and also with the freshmen. So we get to know each other really well, and not only on the field but off the field too, so that's a good experience. But I think mainly just to get the nerves out of our system and just to have fun and play ball how we expect to.
Yeah, no, we've had tremendous support. I think we had over 100 people, families down in Arizona, and we like to have that home field advantage. We have a lot of local kids, and they have a lot of friends in town and family members, and Dwyer Field's always a time where our guys look forward to playing on the home turf, and expect to see us flying around and hopefully get a couple victories.
It's kind of like our spring training to get ready, and it's kind of like what we worked for all off season. So me myself, kind of going down to Arizona, I kind of just wanted to get all the butterflies out of my stomach and stuff. And with some of the things that I did down there, I guess I kind of have a good feeling about what's to come for the rest of the season.
Arizona was good. The weather wasn't quite as hot as it usually is, but it's probably good for us North Dakota boys. Eased us into it a little bit. Played some good baseball. We went 7-1. Hit the ball pretty well the whole time. Pitched it at a pretty good clip. So come back, or 7-2, I guess, by the time we played a game up in Phoenix on the way out. But all in all, it was a good week.
With only 1 weekend for regular season play, Bismarck State already had one athlete named Mon-Dak Conference Player of the Week for baseball, Seth Brewer. A sophomore native of Rapid City, South Dakota, went 2-0 on the mound with a 2.0 ERA with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk, while having a .563 batting average with 16 at-bats. I talked to Seth about how he heard the news and the transition of going from playing both outfield and pitching from a season ago to just being on the mound and being a designated hitter.
When I found out, I actually found out on Twitter. I saw a Twitter post about it, and everybody that I was surrounded with when I found out, they'd found out too at the same time. So it was kind of cool because everybody's like, "Hey man, congratulations" and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool to be with my teammates when I found out and have them find out at the same time and be able to be there to congratulate me and stuff. It was kind of a good feeling.
Yeah, we made the decision in the off season here that Seth's just gonna pitch and DH for us. He's not gonna play anymore in the outfield. We do that just for the betterment of the team and for himself, just to rest him a little bit, so he's ready to roll every 5th day on the mound. And he had 2 starts down there, and he was phenomenal through a complete game in his last one against a Division I opponent in Eastern Arizona, who's a quality ball club. And then hitting the ball, he swung it really well too. I think he hit over 500 and had 4 or 5 extra base hits with 2 home runs. He was tremendous.
Last year, it was, I love playing outfield and stuff, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of stress on my arm. It was either I'm pitching this day or I'm playing outfield, or, I might be doing both. I might start the game playing outfield and then come in and pitch later on. So I think in the off season, me and the coaches, we kind of came to an agreement, hey, let's just have me pitch and I can DH too, so I can still get the hitting experience and stuff. But in order to protect my arm and kind of keep me so I can throw, I guess, better than last year, let's just have me pitch and not play outfield this year. So I think I think it's helped this year. Like, I can already feel a difference. I'm not as sore as I was last year after playing games and stuff. So I guess we'll just see how it carries out the rest of the season.
A team with 12 sophomores that saw the baseball field last season, brought a lot of experience, and have taken on the leadership role early, whether it's in the classroom or on the field, and it's showing.
A lot of the returners, I feel like, started for us last year, so we kind of have that background from last year. Like, we know what to expect this year, and a lot of the freshmen that have came up, they're studs. Like, they can just absolutely hit the crap out of the ball. So, I mean, that helps, and it kind of backs up sophomores from what we learned last year, and like we've kind of passed it down to the freshmen that have came up. And I mean, as you can tell, they were ready for, you know, this college experience for them, and they were ready to go this year.
Yeah, no, our sophomores, they kind of laid the foundation here, and they know that they're leaders of this team. We have some talented freshmen come in too, but the sophomores kind of have to set the tone, and then so far so good. They've done a great job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you always have to stay ready. I think as the sophomores, we're just trying to almost lead as example. On the field, but also off the field. You know, we're students first. We take care of it in the classroom. We take care of it in the weight room. We take care of it in practice. And I think that all of that will translate onto the field.
Unfortunately, the annual Bamberg Classic was canceled due to snow, but the baseball team did travel up to Wofford City last weekend to play Minnesota State Community and Tech in a 2-day doubleheader, going 3-1 on the weekend to get ready for conference play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we couldn't get the Bamberg Classic in. It's 2 years in a row we've had to nix it. I was talking to the Itasca coach. I think they've been coming the last 4 or 5 years that same weekend. He said the 3 years prior they came every year. So it's unfortunate, but silver lining is we did get to play baseball still. Went to Wofford City. It was beautiful up there. They have a great facility.
It was kind of us getting prepared, I guess, for like conference play. It was kind of nice because we were playing 4 games there against a pretty good team. I mean, it was good competition for us, and I think it kind of helps us get ready for conference competition to start next weekend.
They're very important. I couldn't imagine just going right into conference. It's good to get those kind of games in and to see where we're at as a team. I can tell just with this group, I think we have something special here, and we know that. We try not to get too high and mighty on it, but we just take one game at a time, each inning at a time, each pitch at a time, and we just want to keep ourselves composed, but also keep that foot on the gas and try to play our kind of style of ball and win games.
We have experience, so like we know, you know, a lot of the teams in the conference, we played them last year, obviously, and so like we know what to expect when it comes to conference play and like what the competition is going to be like, and you know what we might see. And I think as a team, a lot of the sophomores have kind of explained to the freshmen and stuff like, hey, like this is what it's going to be like. When we were down in Arizona, a lot of the sophomores were like, hey, you know, this is good competition down here, but it's going to be a lot more serious when we get back up to North Dakota and start playing conference play and stuff like that. So I think the sophomores this year are doing a good job of, you know, kind of bringing the freshmen up and explaining what to expect, I guess.
We obviously want to have the best seed going in the tournament, and for us to stay in the moment and play each game by game. I think that would be the most important for us.
The women's basketball team had a great season this year in conference tournament, but fell short in the championship game to Miles City in a close one. They had quite the experience playing Miles City this year, but who else would you play with the season on the line?
So we ended up the season 23-7 through the whole entire year. The sad part about it is 4 of our losses out of the 7 was to the same school, Miles City. We just couldn't figure a way how to, to beat the team. You know, they're very, very talented, very driven, fast break basketball like we play. So it was kind of fun playing those guys, and you know their coach on the other side knew that when they played us every single time that we were going to give them a game. The last game we played them in the championship, we're right there first half. Second half they came out on a 10-12-2 run on us, and that was kind of the difference maker right there.
We had played very well, but it was obviously a different environment. It was their home court. Let me just say that it was pretty wild, but it was a good end to the season. We were right in the game the whole entire and throughout the whole thing. We're down by 3 with about 1:20 left to go. The ball just didn't bounce our way.
You know, I think the good thing about the whole game, as I look back, is that they were a pressing team, that they pressed us and pressed us and pressed us, and they stopped pressing us, you know, in the fourth quarter, and we actually started pressing them. So we were in the driver's seat at that particular point, you know. You know, our kids laid it all on the floor. You know, they gave 110%. Very, very proud of our kids. So we have some unfinished business to do next year. Okay. And, you know, the kids that are coming back understand that, you know, that we're gonna, you know, work very, very hard and try to get to that point again.
With off-season for basketball happening, that means recruiting time, and both coaches have been busy. I talked to women's head coach Marv Pedersen about the girls he has signed, what he looks for in players when recruiting, and sophomore Billy Wilhelm about what it meant to be a Mystic.
The two kids we did sign is Carson Hager from rugby. Carson plays that style of game that we play, up and down the court, fast break basketball. She can shoot the 3-ball, got great ball handling skills. So, you know, we were kind of hurting in the guard position this year. So what I was looking for is more of a couple of guards to come in and to hit the 3-ball, knock the 3-ball down. And, you know, Mackenzie Johnson is the other girl that we signed from Carrington. And, you know, Mackenzie's probably at about 15 points per game, you know, this year. Can shoot the 3-ball really well, and she can see the court. So we're pretty happy about those two kids right now fulfilling the guards position. We are looking at some kids right now that are going to be coming in on campus here in the next couple weeks to tour the campus, and hopefully we can get those kids signed as well, you know.
Obviously, they're going to have to be in shape. Like, that's the main thing. Is high school and college basketball are two different aspects completely. And I think attitude's a big thing too. It's hard coming into college. If you were the best player on your high school team, it's different coming and playing with the best girls around the state. So I think definitely just keeping a positive attitude and pushing through and just having fun, because you only play sports for so long in your life.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at kids that, you know, I look at their demeanor, you know, on the court, off the court, you know, do they take breaks on the basketball court? We definitely want kids that run the floor, you know, and get up and down the court. You know, you look at their, especially at the guard play, you look at their, you know, their shooting form. You know, when I was looking at Carson and Mackenzie, you know, looking at their shooting form, see where they're at with that and how they can handle the basketball, see if they can, you know, kind of do some no-look passes and see where kids are at and how they feed the basketball off to the other teammates, you know. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, and how they, you know, get up and down the court. Everything that we do in practice is a push, you know. We have a lot of transition drills, getting up and down the court. Some of these kids coming in, it's a whole different ball game for them, you know. How to play man-to-man defense. So we have, man-to-man defense. We have zone defenses. We have about 4 or 5 different half-court traps and also the full-court presses. So there's a lot of things to learn, you know, in the game of basketball that we teach here at the college level, you know. And, you know, sometimes at the high school level, there's like one offense, you know, just run this motion offense. But here, you know, we got great coaches in the league, so we have to counter what they bring us, kind of like a chess match, so to speak, you know. So there's games sometimes where we might play a zone and against one team, and there might be a man-to-man on another team, or we might switch right in the middle, you know, because they're knocking the 3-ball down. So we have to play, you know, get out on them, you know, with man-to-man or something. So we got to do some switching.
So honestly, coming to BSC was one of my best decisions. I'm from Bismarck, and I'm also a homebody, so I like staying close to home. And after my high school season, I hadn't really wanted to give basketball up yet. I mean, it's something that takes up so much time in your life, and you meet so many great people and make so many good memories out of it. And I'm sad I have to leave BSC, but I'm actually going out to University of Mary, so I'll still be around and I'll still come to the games and help the girls out and obviously support BSC.
This past year was Coach Pedersen's second season at the helm for the women's team, and has been very effective each year. I got the scoop on his style of basketball and what he has learned from college basketball.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of different changes. You know, I didn't change my coaching philosophy at all. My coaching philosophy has always been fast break basketball, you know, per se, you know, the Mandan basketball that we had back when I coached in Mandan for all those years, getting up and down the court. And I think, talking with the kids and the adults that come to the ball game, they love this style of basketball, instead of walking up the court, and play slow down basketball. So it's a spectator, sport as well, where the people like it, We average about 86 points a game this year, So yeah, we get up and down the court. So if we score over 70 points a game, if you take a look, we won our ball games, And if a teams can DR us up a little bit and get us under 70 points per game, they're gonna win. So we don't like to slow the game down. We like to have an up-tempo type of game. What I learned, I guess with being a coach here for my second year is the commitment level that these kids got to put in, which is a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. So what we're going to look for is kids that are 2-year committed to the program. It's kind of tough where we have freshmen come in and it's one and done. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy into developing that particular player, and we'd like to have them here for 2 years. So from here, this point forward, we're going to recruit kids that are going to be here for 2 seasons. So we can get better as time goes on. So these freshmen that decided not to play this year, we got them to the point where they got better, they had success, and we're looking, at the success for next year to come. And so if they don't decide to play, then we kind of lost that particular year with that particular kid. So that's what I kind of learned, through college basketball.
With the great start the guys have had to the season, it's just a tip of the iceberg and are looking to do even greater things. They kick off conference play this weekend against Dawson Community College.
Being 10-3 early is great, but at the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter at all. We start a new season here Saturday with Dawson. In 5 weeks of Mon-Dak play, it's a grind and it's testing, and then there's 6 really good teams in this league now. So every week our guys know they have to bring it or someone that they're going to slip up. And Dawson's a quality team. Dawson, they knocked us out of the tournament last year. They bring back a lot of guys, so they'll present a challenge, but I feel good about what we have going on our side right now, so we're excited to get going.
Obviously, we kind of have a grudge against them because of what they did to us last year, but we have a completely different team this year, which, I can't really predict how the outcome is going to be next weekend when we play Dawson, but I feel like our team this year is a lot more prepared for, a situation against a pretty good team.
We're going to take just one series at a time. Bus trips and home games, for us, it doesn't really matter. We're going to play our style of ball, like I said, and we're going to try to win every game. Simple as that.
On Saturday, the baseball team travels to Glendive, Montana for the doubleheader starting at 2 p.m. Central Time and the second game following at 4 p.m. Central Time. Then on Sunday, they face Dawson again for the first home game of the year. Start time is 1 p.m. Central, and the second game starting at 3 p.m. Central of the doubleheader. Come cheer on your Mystics. That's it for this episode of Sports Fix. I'm your host, Holzer, signing off.